What's up, party people? It's James. Let's talk about Santa Marta, Colombia. It's the beach, man. It's the other beach town besides Cartagena. We flew from Medellin to the Santa Marta Airport, which is, I believe, called Simon Boulevard Airport. And we got there. We met some taxi guy out there, and he took us to Santa Marta proper. We rented a hostel there. First time I ever rented a hostel. Probably about a mile from the city center. Great atmosphere, cool people. I met a cool ass Spaniard named Jesus there. He drinks and smokes more than me, so that was refreshing. When you go downtown, it's kind of colonial style. You know, when you get into Santa Marta proper, if you want to go shopping, man, that's the spot. They've got the shopping. You know, they got the big racks of clothes and book bags and anything and everything you can imagine in Santa Marta proper. They've got this nice park called Parque Novia. That's the spot, man. It's like a little square. There's restaurants and bars lined all around there. The thing is, though, temperature is probably about 90 degrees there. It's way warmer than Medellin. And like most beach towns, you have a breeze. But this one, you don't so much in the city proper because of all the buildings and stuff. They have a beach in Santa Marta. But remember, they close all the beaches like 11 to 2 in Colombia. They run you off. You know, the policia four-wheelers, they'll blow their horns and their sirens and get you off the beach. We went down to Santa Marta Beach, and we were about to go get us rent us one of those little tent things, whatever, to sit for the day for a couple hours. And right when we were doing that, the police came by on a four-wheeler, and they ran everybody off the beach because the beach was closed. And I was like, okay. And so we got some ice cream from one of those vendors, man. And I was looking around, and I noticed to the right there was like a port with some big ships, and to the left was like a dock, like with some bigger yachts and stuff. And you watch anything, you live next to the ocean or been on a cruise ship, you know they dump all their sewage and stuff in the water. So after I realized there was boat docks and ports on each side of that beach, I passed on going in that beach. I was like, screw it. We just went and got a few beers at Parque Novia, hamburguesa, kicked it there, or whatever. The first night I got to Santa Marta, we were at the hostel, and it sounded like gunshots. And I was like, so I went back to sleep. And the next morning, I was talking to Jesus, and I was like, hey man, what happened? You hear that last night? He goes, yeah man, somebody got shot. And I was like, really? And he was telling me, because you know he's Spanish, whatever, so his Espanol is good. Mine's crap, let's be honest. And he was telling me that like on the same road our hostel was on, and remember our hostel is like on this side of the city, and to get to the city proper, Santa Marta proper, you have to go by the police station. So we were like a block and a half from the police station and probably 5 blocks from Santa Marta, like downtown, like the party area. That gunshot the night before was a lady taking her kids to school, man. She pulled up to the stop sign, which is like 2 stop signs past our hostel. 2 dudes on motos, man, pulled up beside her with guns, man, and killed that lady in front of her kids on the way to school that morning. So, some crazy stuff goes on there. During the day, it's safe, but you gotta remember, that region, it has, what is it? The stuff, coca leaves, medicinal coca. They grow that there. It's like, you know, there's legal and illegal crops, obviously. And then there's medical marijuana there because it's a good place to grow weed. And they export a lot of that to Europe. I didn't know that. And then, of course, when you have legal and illegal substances that have a nice market value, you're going to have criminal elements involved trying to make some money off that, because the world runs off money. We all know that. And then right before we got there was notification on Twitter and Instagram saying that Colombia was sending the army to Santa Marta because the cops were in with the narcos supposedly, and the cops were crooked or whatever. I didn't really see any cops in Santa Marta. Only time I seen cops in Santa Marta in big groups was around the police station. They had this nice, it's kind of like reminds me of the old places back in the States in the South where they have the old railroad stations, whatever, that they convert to something else. It's kind of like a long platform, like a railroad station. And there was freaking cops lined up all around there. Like they were guarding a police station. They really wasn't out and about. There was a few out and about, but they were guarding a police station. So that lady got wet up and killed in front of her kids, like 2 blocks from the police station, 2 blocks from our hostel, man. And so I was like, I'm not going out at night. I tried to get Jesus, my homie. I was like, hey man, you going out at night? He goes, no, I don't go out at night. I said, for real? He goes, no. And he goes, the Colombians here told me not to go out at night. I was like, okay, so I guess we won't be going out at night. One night I was there at the hostel in Santa Marta, and we had the wrought iron black gates, whatever, all around there, the fencing. And every night they'd come out there, they'd put a big padlock on the gate, lock us in there. And that was kind of concerning. I was like, everything's safe over there? And they're like, oh yeah, everything's safe. But they locked us in there, man. So, and then another night we were sitting there, it was me, my son, and Jesus. And we were drinking Budweiser and smoking cigarettes. And some suspect dude came up to the gate and was fumbling around with the gate or whatever, trying to get in. And my homeboy Jesus, about half lit, he starts talking shit to him. You know, I didn't know what he was saying because, you know, he was just going. My Spanish ain't that good, but I could tell he was talking shit because he kind of had to smirk and kind of laugh. And I was like, what's up with that? He goes, I asked Jesus, and he's like, oh, that's narcos. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. I said, should we worry? He's like, nah, it's good. I was just making jokes with him. They was just checking on things. And I was like, all right. So at night, I didn't go out at Santa Marta. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, after about 4 days in Santa Marta, we got us a hotel room at El Rodadero. El Rodadero is closer to Simon Bolivar Airport, which is the airport you fly into Santa Marta. Now, El Rodadero is full of cops. It's a lot of tourists there. It's a small area. It's got a playa right there at El Rodadero, and a bunch of high-rise apartments. You know, not real big apartments, but probably, you know, 18, 20 stores, things of that nature. But what I didn't like about it, there wasn't a lot of Airbnbs or hotels there, so you couldn't bring any guests into your room. So we were in a hotel room, not a hotel room, we were in an apartment building, condo, in El Rodadero. And everything was right there, you know, but it's really not a party scene like getting ladies like Medellin, you know, it's BYOB, you know, but it was cool, man. And there was a lot of cops there, it was safe, a lot of restaurants. Colombian food, you know, it's hit or miss, man, but the food's better in Medellin than it is in Santa Marta, you know what I'm saying? Or El Rodadero. The food's better in Medellin, you know, whether it's Colombian dishes, Mexicano dishes, or American dishes, the food's better in Medellin, I think. But El Rodadero is pretty sweet, man. And then they have, you know, boat rides, you can go to Playa Blanca. I went to Playa Blanca because that's the hype. Everybody, Playa Blanca, Playa Blanca, Playa Blanca. People trying to sell you a trip to Playa Blanca. I was like, screw it, we're going to Playa Blanca. So me and Jordan, we got on the boat, man. We paid our little $15 a piece, and we took a boat. Before I moved back to Florida, where I live at now, I didn't know a lot about boats. But now that I know more about boats, and I've had family that's like done that for a living, I wouldn't have got on that boat. Every one of them life jackets was hard as a rock. They were not. We made it. So we go to Playa Blanca, and we get there, and the beach is probably 100 yards, a little bit bigger than a football field. A little bit bigger than a football field, and there's cliffs on both sides, and it's not sand, it's little tiny pebbles, man. And I looked at the dude dropping us off. He goes, this is it? He goes, yeah, this is Santa Marta. I was like, well, let me go. I want to go back. He goes, no, you can't ride with me. You can't ride with me. And I was like, what the hell? And then somebody else came up. Hey, I want to go. I want to leave. And then finally I pulled out my ticket. I get what they were talking about. I needed the ticket. So I showed them our ticket. Me and Jordan showed them our ticket. We wasn't in Playa Blanca maybe 3 minutes, man. 3 minutes tops. We got right back on that boat and took our happy asses back to El Rodadero. I wouldn't waste my money and go to Playa Blanca. You know, it looks like those, you ever watch those YouTube videos of the Chinese down at the beach during the summer and they're just all packed in on this little bitty beach? That's kind of the vibe of Playa Blanca. Too many people and not enough beach. It was better in Santa Marta, you know what I'm saying? But the beach right there, El Rodadero, is swinging. It's swinging, man. You can get people bring you shrimp, people bring you beer, you know what I'm saying? You can get some smoke if you want it. There was another spot we went. It's called Irotama. Rotama. And that's the baller spot. Kevin took us there on a day trip, and it's a resort. There's no vendors, and it's just beautiful beaches. It's awesome, man. There's some football stars, aka soccer stars, that live down there and have condos and stuff, you know. So it's like the baller spot. So Irotama. If you really want to ball out, you want to spend $160 a night, I recommend Irotama too. I didn't go there because I wasn't trying to spend money like that. Santa Marta's good. Can't go out at night. El Rodadero, you can party all night long. There's a lot of cops. It's safe. Irotama, I went during the day. But if you're going over that region, man, to Santa Marta, I'd recommend just because El Rodadero is not that far from the airport. You ain't even got to drive to Santa Marta proper unless you want to do some shopping. But if you want to just kick it at the beach and get some food and drinks, I think El Rodadero is the best bet. You know, I can't wait to go back there. That's where I'm going to go next. I've been to Cartagena. I've been to Santa Marta. I've been to Playa Blanca. But El Rodadero is my favorite beach in Colombia. It's not my favorite beach in the world. My favorite beach in the world is right here in Florida. Just so everybody knows. I'm just saying. All right, that's my spill on Santa Marta and El Rodadero and the awesome ass resort place called Irotama. So I hope y'all have a great day. James out. Peace.